So why do you deadlift? This is a question that I'm going to be exploring during today's video, and it's a question I've asked myself countless times over the years, spent a lot of time pondering over it. My best was 3 reps at 500 pounds. I haven't really deadlifted consistently since 2015, through one reason or another. I utilised deadlifts during full body work or a mad cow routine specifically, did a lot of deadlifts during that time, or upper lower push pull. However, the last few years I haven't really done them that much. I've been focusing more on stiff leg deadlifts, if anything, which is what you're watching now. Let's count that as a different exercise. We're talking about a conventional, regular deadlift. Why do you do it? What's your goal? And I think you have to really ask yourself this when you're going into the gym and performing an exercise that takes so much energy, so much time to set up and complete. Is it really worth your time? If you're powerlifting, then obviously you have to deadlift. It's one of the 3 principles that you practice, so therefore you need to spend time in the gym doing that. If you're looking for overall full body strength, then yes, you're probably going to want to deadlift at some point, although it's not essential. For overall fitness and good movement patterns, I think it's pertinent to include some deadlifting into your routine. When you're beginning, as a newbie into the gym, it's good to deadlift. It teaches you, good lifting habits that you can then utilise and carry over to other exercises. But I think there comes a point after a few years of training, and if your goal is bodybuilding, to build muscle, then you really have to ask the question, why am I deadlifting? Is it a good exercise for the back? Because when you go into the gym, most people tend to train deadlifts on back day. It's generally seen as the exercise to do to get a big back. But really, when you take that stigma that's attached to the deadlift away from it, and you really dissect it, it becomes clear that it's probably not a good exercise to be doing. I would say that it's not as good as chin-ups or pull-downs for building lat muscle mass. It's not as good as bent over rows or low row at building upper back thickness. It's not even as good as shrugs at building trap muscle mass. And it's definitely not as good as a squat at building overall thigh mass. Add to that the fact that it takes an extreme amount of effort to perform. It's very, very debilitating. Even in powerlifting cycles, it's a lift that you don't really want to be doing too frequently because of the debilitating effect that it has on the body, both during that session after the lift and on the subsequent days after that session that you train the deadlifts in. It takes a long time to warm up, to set the exercise up, to change the weights each set. Think of the amount of sets that you could do for back-specific movements with that time and energy. Personally, I'd rather, say, go for bent over row or chins in the same time that it took me to do my deadlift work, bearing in mind the setting up of the weights, the warming up, the numerous sets that are required for me to feel like I'm moving well. I just don't view it as a good trade-off between time and energy and effectiveness of taxing the muscles that I want to become bigger, i.e. the lats and upper back primarily. That being said, I'm not saying that it's not a good exercise. It definitely has its place. However, if you've been training for a few years and you feel like you're kind of stuck in a rut for your pull or back sessions and you are doing deadlifts, then maybe think about changing the exercises, taking them out altogether for a period of time. I think a good way of adding deadlifts to a bodybuilding specific back or pull session would be maybe at the end of the workout, when you've already done your main pulling movements for the lats and upper back specifically. On the other hand, I view stiff leg deadlifts for the hamstrings as an extremely effective exercise, and it works very well when combined with laying and seated hamstring curls, and I think should be a staple exercise in your leg or lower routine. So thanks for watching, guys. If you did enjoy the video or find it useful, then please give it a like, subscribe to see more true natural bodybuilding content, and check out my Instagram page. The link is in the description box below. Feel free to ask any questions that you've got about training or diet. Leave it in the comment section below. Stay strong.